Before we take off from Paradise Island, I was kinda hoping to grab a quick word. I know I've been pushing to find DeVries, so this might seem a bit of a left turn, but void it. I'm just gonna ask. Got an old friend here on the island, the doctor who patched me up after Horizon Point. Ex-protectorate, a good man. Tracked him to Westport a short time ago, but never got up the nerve to visit. Reckon we could drop by and pay him a visit? Brief one, of course. Oh, legs bother me a bit, but no more than usual. Anyway, that's not the reason I'm asking to visit. I had some bad years on my own. Now with you here being part of a team, this might sound a mite soppy, but I feel like I could be a proper agent again. That starts with writing accounts. This friend of mine, Zebulon Tran, I let him down. And I've been chewing on that live wire for a while. Too long, maybe. After I recovered from Horizon Point, Zeb and I ran together for a spell, doing what we could to help folks in difficult spots. Fighting protectorate tyranny in small ways. Too small for Zeb, as it turned out. He was unhappy before I showed up, and after, well, all my directorate talk fired him up even more. I had my orders. I was to stay low. Couldn't let the protectorate catch wind of an Earth Directorate agent in its midst. But Zeb, he kept pushing to take more extreme action. I agree. But the problem with burning down a system is finding ways out for all the innocent folk trapped inside it. That wasn't the goal anyway. Just helping out where we could. We worked hard, but the Protectorate's arbiters and sentinels worked harder. Often than not, our help only made targets of the folks whose lives we were trying to improve. Didn't matter what we did. Arcadia was still caught under the Protectorate's boot. Wouldn't have expected you to see it that way, given all your talk of trusting no one and looking out for myself. But maybe we've both done some growing since then. Anyway, things weren't good. Zeb and I couldn't find the rhythm we had before. We were arguing every day. Eventually, cutting ties just seemed for the best. Clean like. Only later I learned Zeb hadn't given up the struggle like I assumed he would. He got to stay in mental refreshment for his trouble. That's the last I heard of him, till recent. Much appreciated, Commander. Promise, I won't be making a habit of pulling skeletons out of my closet. Westport's on the east side of the island. I tracked Zeb to somewhere on its outskirts, but never got up the nerve to visit before now. We ought to start there.
Commander, the nav key coordinates supplied by the presiding bishop of the Order have been verified. Landing in Golden Ridge is now possible. Additionally, we are also able to land in Free Market Station due to the astrogator's progress with the updates necessitated by its rebuild. Golden Ridge is located on Dorado. It is home to the Alexandra Monastery and Matriarch's Mercy. as well as previously being a center for mining uranium. The Protectorate abandoned it soon after the invasion, leaving Auntie's Choice and the Order of the Ascendant to fight for control of the area and its resources. Free Market Station is an independent marketplace, the only one in the system. It is called such as it was built out of a crashed Auntie's Choice freighter by that name. Agent Ibarra frequented it occasionally after the invasion. He said it was a good place to find newfangled gadgets and stolen prototypes and whatnot. Agent Ibarra prioritized your recovery above pursuing Agent DeVries. This involved disassembling and rebuilding the astrogator to allow the incognito to travel to your location. As the rebuilding process progresses, old nav keys may be unlocked. Unfortunately, most of them are likely not recoverable.
Careful now. Oh, you sure haven't lost any of your boundless energy. Think they made the statue big enough? Whoa, didn't realize we were landing so close to the action.
Attention passenger, you are running 21,027.
Please mind the gaps. All of them.
Please be mindful of your departure in the future. This is your 2061st reminder. Keep all items.
The answer, of course, is none. Information always reduced to chance. At present, we do not have information. Instead, still forced to deal with probabilities, expected values, and standard deviations, which leads to the dreaded sigma of probability distribution. By necessity, we are
Your patience is commendable, passenger. Please continue waiting quietly until the next round arrives.
like folks holed up here after the fighting started. Guess not everybody was eager to take sides.
Day 206. Morale? Low. Condition? Feeble. Voucher mech. Watching. Always watching. Many have left for Matriarch's mercy, seeking refuge with the Order. The fools. Can't they see the Order is no different from the Protectorate?
Matriarch's mercy
The
orders
Order
directly
Incessant
ahead.
muttering to
This
oneself
unit is
may
ready to
disturb
proceed
fellow
when you are,
passengers.
Commander.
Further conduct violations may warrant notification of the Sentinels.
Try it, you doddering rattletrap! Such threats compel me no longer. I now answer to no one. I've seen through the lies of both sides. In time, everyone will.
Unwarranted optimism may be a sign of a more serious imbalance. Please see a curative
Stranger,
before boarding.
the Order bids you welcome, but also warnings.
Higher chance of survival.
The upper hall is for somber internal speculation. For those lost in a dark.
Think they'll notice if we jump the queue?
Another refuge. Just a moment. Allowing anyone into Matriarch's mercy unprocessed will upset the precarious ratio of refugees to aid. We should have an opportunity for placement in approximately 7.85 days, presuming no unforeseen alterations. I seem to recollect one matching your description set for arrival. Pardon my slowing your ingress. It has been rather hectic of late. Welcome to Matriarch's Mercy. Rule number 1, no crowding. Rule number 2, avoid the exclusion zone. Our seer has predicted non-specific imminent danger. I thought the name was self-explanatory. Our seer predicted that a corner of the encampment is in terrible danger. Danger from what? Or when? Unclear. Stay away from it, and, in all probability, you won't have to find out. Our predictions spring from the universal equation, the very numbers that guide the stars. Only a fool ignores probability, and we don't suffer fools around these parts. Safety and probability are incompatible. Eventually, nowhere will be safe, including here. Not at present, but according to our predictions, the creation of a third rule is likely, if not inevitable. That's enough questions. Keep the line moving. You need anything, talk to Seer Wiley. He's in the lift building, straight through the settlement.
I remember this place before the war.
Please be advised, this unit
lacks
lacks
pharmaceutic resources to provide medical
care meeting Earth Directorate standards to populations exceeding 7.5 persons.
By the law. You're right. The universe does not orient itself toward fairness. But it's my firm belief humanity can do better.
All evidence to the contrary.
Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to expect. Your punctuality is commendable. Allow me to welcome you to Golden Ridge. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability? Yes, the presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, due to our need for compartmentalization, she was scant on the details of your mission. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Ridge? Victor? Oh, yes, Archivist Clemens. Quite the mind. Such encyclopedic knowledge of engineering. One could almost mistake him for an exemplar. Is he in some kind of trouble?
Victor Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse. And that may well be true. But our standard of proof within the Order is not normally met by hearsay alone. Victor's currently supervising highly experimental research at one of our labs to the northwest, the Enray Range, beyond the invaders' front lines. Unfortunately, you'll need to go through the decommissioned autonomous extractorium to reach it. That path is less than safe, so I advise caution. Besides the highly caustic Xeranium River and the Mantisaurs, we've also received reports of mad cultists in the area. It does make me wonder why Victor decided to stay. Victor is dedicated. Single-minded, one could say. I've always thought highly of his analytical skills as a researcher, less so his social ones, perhaps. Loath as I am to admit it, there may be some merit to your worries over a conspiracy within the Order, whether Victor is involved or not. As my predecessor would remind me, denying unpleasant facts is not good science. I would be remiss if I failed to support an investigation. No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Anti's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity. It came from one of our facilities, the Xeranium Manufactory. But that facility is intended for research, not military action. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst. It would undoubtedly benefit both of us to root them out.
Respectfully, Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate? Earth Directorate Agent is just a title. I'd seek to know who you are beyond that bit of headline.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend, but the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending the ceasefire and reigniting the war in Golden Ridge. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence, but if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace. I knew I could rely upon you. Ruth wouldn't have sent you otherwise. Here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. It'll grant you access to the manufactory. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes once you've returned with your findings. Illuminating the path to true erudition is an abbot's moral duty. Whatever I can tell you, I will. Rift worshippers spouting inane theories. They began showing up prior to the invasion. The first sign of dysfunction in the Protectorate always starts small, doesn't it?
A calling for those with a greater than average talent for mathematics and computation, particularly in the field of predictive analysis.
Seer Wiley is being too modest about his contributions. Many in the Order rely on seers for their indispensable counsel. I myself would be lost without mine.
Not half as much as we value our benevolent overlord. Ain't that right, Val?
Error. Unable to interpret query due to unidentified actor. Benevolent overlord. Defaulting to agreement. Yes, Agent Ibarra. Your assessment is correct.
No, it's not like that at all. Our bond is an equitable partnership built upon a foundation of mutual respect and dedication to the plan. In fact, what would you put our combined efficacy rate at these days, Wiley?
I won't trouble our good agent here with the exact calculation, but the percentage is considerable.
I dread the day your immeasurable talent finally propels you into the upper echelons. Truly, Landon, the Order doesn't realize what it has in you.
You have an abundance of valid options for your next mission.
Destination, Commander.
Neighbors.
N-ray range.
While you shelter
Zuranium manufacturing.
Or outpost opportunity.
Arcadia shall never return to how it was.
Hygienic products are solely intended for bathing use, not fermentation into inebriating intoxicants. Contrivance malfunction, laboratory mishap, and/or miscellaneous unspeakable dangers.
Please call again at a more convenient time.
Hello? Someone there? Yes? Did the missive not play, or was it garbled in some way? Are you somehow struggling with coherence? If so, to be clear, Zerania Manufactory 7 presently and for an indeterminate time is in lockdown. That means no external transmissions, no visitors. Wait, you have a writ? From the abbot? But we don't have any means of... yes, they said they have a... yes, sir. This is Factor Maytunier. Am I to understand you have orders from the abbot? Quite convenient for you. I have no way of verifying without allowing you entry. Very well. Come inside and we'll see this sorted. Building on the left.
Yes, right over here. So, the abbot deigned to send someone whilst we're contending with all manner of emergencies, did he? Interesting timing. May I see it then? The writ? All within the order are equal parts of the equation. It is functionally useless to imply greater influence. Sometimes I cannot fathom what goes through the abbot's mind, but your papers do seem to be legitimate. I will unlock the elevator so you can speak with Proctor Svoboda below. I'll send word you're en route, but fair warning, I cannot predict what reception you will receive. I expect your behavior will remain impeccable. As soon as I've seen to securing the facility, I'll be along straight away. We have a working hypothesis about who is responsible. The initial evidence looks rather conclusive. And we have managed to corner the apparent perpetrator down below, which would be a good thing if they had not, somehow seized control of the manufactory operations. Our suspect, one Initiate Alva, previously supervised launch controls. Though steadfastly maintaining her innocence, she has also barricaded herself in the operations control room below. A move not likely to allay anyone's suspicions. An understandable perspective. I fear I must concur. I admit I'm to a reasonable degree pleased you are on hand to corroborate current suppositions. May your query yield favorable results.
It evidently originated here. Transport pod full of uranium. Blue outpost opportunity to naught but tinges and tenders.
Initiate Alpha, stand down. Relinquish control of this facility immediately.
Oh, my dear Proctor, you can't believe a low-level drudge like me is responsible for any of this.
You'd have us all believe you seized control to demonstrate your innocence. Wait, is this being broadcast?
I have no idea how this audio doodad works. You're the one in charge here, Proctor Svoboda. Are you sure you didn't do something?
I demand your unconditional surrender at...
Hello, Proctor? I'm pushing buttons over here now. Did I disconnect you somehow?
Emergency detoxification initiated. What's her name took over?
Ah, yes, of course. Next on my list of lowest probability events, strangers sent by the Abbot, gallivanting about amidst a lockdown. If we'd been able to communicate beyond our walls, might have saved you a trip. As I can successfully report, we have identified the responsible party. Oh, no, I wouldn't frame it quite like that, of course. It's less what happened than who happened. Initiate Alva, that is. A low-level subordinate, assigned here years ago. Her role was to launch transport pods of volatile uranium to collection points in space. Not at the outposts of our rivals. Those poor, short-sighted commercialists. A spy or turncoat, no doubt. A sleeper agent from one of those secret enemy programs you're always hearing about. Within a beat of us hearing of the attack, Alva seized command of the system and locked herself in the control center. She then forcefully repelled several attempts to extricate her. 2 are dead already. Poor Jacobs lost a hand trying to pry free the outer doors. Why, she could destroy this entire place at any moment from in there. I implore you to stop her before she does so. I fear violence may be our only recourse. Fervent professements of innocence mostly. You know, exactly what you'd expect a secret traitress to claim. Dramatic attestations that grew quite animated. I suppose spies must build up a flair for histrionics, what with all that hiding their identities and all. Then bursting forth like a pent-up arachnid. At any rate, I have work to do, and you have a saboteur to eliminate, yes? I am so pleased a reliable party is actively engaged. I'll be in my office. Let me know once she is no longer a problem.
Would you describe the arachnid calicity as slavering when it attacked? How much viscous fluid did you estimate was flowing?
I don't know anything about the fluid's volume. They attacked.
Of course, she's hiding something. You think those two exemplars just fell wrong?
Factor
They're
something
hardly
on it.
prone to involuntary self-injury.
Investigator? May circumstances proceed toward intended results.
Oh, hello. A visitor. Who is it? And who are you, dear? You're what? Some maverick for hire. Oh, no, I can see it now. Earth Directorate, yes? Like Commander Zane and that rascal Buddy. And who is that you brought with you? A friend. Another Earth Directorate agent, I see. Seems sad.
Is she talking about me?
Oh, my! That Earth Directorate support mech is a design classic. All this for me. Fear I hardly deserve such attention. This entire business is just a terrible misunderstanding. I expect few in the Order know of you, but, well, I've kept to a role here that is purposely not very taxing. Others prefer calculations in their spare time. I have my stories. Between launches, I enjoyed serials, two-bit dreadfuls, periodicals. I adore Zane and Buddy, even if they are considered contraband. And you decidedly share their upright bearing. For the longest time, I didn't realize your organization actually existed. But here you are, well-timed and, no doubt, eager to help. I'll tell you exactly what happened. Our transport pod leveled outpost opportunity. I immediately realized someone must have bypassed my terminal. I initiated a lockdown to block further tampering. Had I not, additional attacks may have continued. Now, despite a long record of dedicated service, who's being blamed for this calamity? Me, somehow. Dear me, I wish I did, but... Actually, there may be a way you could gain answers here. The firing record should contain all relevant details regarding the launch. Why, yes, I could unseal access to the records repository for you, and open the path leading there. I'd be right grateful if you'd have a look. I swear I'm completely innocent of this heinous act they're accusing me of. If you need to hear me say it, surely. I promise not to destroy this facility with all of us in it. Was that reassuring enough? Appreciate your help, dear. Please return when you have found something. May the plan favor us against long odds.
May all your endeavors add to the equation.
Patrol's back, I hear. Don't see Auntie's being too discreet.
Our Earth Directorate friend. Hello. I've been conversing with Factor Matadier here while you were away. Understand you've met?
Yes, they witnessed me rather discomposed, I fear. Visions of Auntie's choice reprisal clouded my thoughts at the time. Troops now guard the entrance above. Our safety addressed, I have turned my attention to the cause of our situation here, and I have deemed it wise to investigate further. Do not let my position fool you. All within the Order are scienticians, and hence we seek the truth of any hypothesis based on evidence. The Proctor's accusation is no different. You suspect me somehow? One must keep one's eyes wide open in such times, I suppose. Now, I believe you had an update for Initiate Alva.
You've examined the launch records, yes? What did you find? I'd say they've obviously been altered, dear. Fancy that odor you detected, a sign of chemicals used to affect the falsification. But listen to me. What do I know about this sort of thing? I know I've watched too many Aetherwave serials. Suppose they fuel my fervent imagination. But still, even the most junior scientician knows the best explanation is one requiring the fewest assumptions. Ergo, I set the correct coordinates. Someone overrode them. Someone may be pulling her strings, perhaps. That's what investigators like you say, isn't it? Now, what you uncovered appears to imply two further avenues of inquiry. A Zeranium leak occurred moments after the launch. I imagine it may have been used as a diversion, allowing the culprit time to falsify the record. The overriding of the coordinates also deserves a look. Don't you think?
I can speak to the coordinate override, I believe. All commands are routed through the hub in central processing. If one meant to accomplish what you're suggesting, they would likely look to do it there.
I expect the Zeranium leak stemmed from alterations to the control boards and refinement logistics. I'd look for any signs of tampering that may point to the culprit. All right. There. I've unsealed both areas. With hope, what you discover will help us determine the responsible party.
I'll stay here and play for more time. If the Proctor sends anyone, I'll say I'm close to convincing you to surrender.
Well, Boulder sure has it out for that initiate. Guess I would too if Alpha had killed a bunch of my colleagues.
Guns cocked and loaded. Just give the signal. What's in here, Commander?
Alva's been here for how many years?
Always account for standard deviation.
Something about that Alva doesn't square. And she called me sad. I'm not sad. Just for the record.
Respecting one's elders is considered good manners in most colonies. Exceptions may be made for violent offenders.
Ah, yes. Suppose you'll do.
Circumstances proceed toward intended results.
Oh, hello, dear. Why, we were just talking about you.
Or specifically, potential implications for a multitude of troubling scenarios, based on probable results of your investigation, downstream outcomes, and such and the like.
You know how the Order is, always calculating something. But please, tell us what you discovered.
Hold on now. We should really discuss what you found, not rush headlong into making a verdict.
I'm sufficiently certain our proctor is conspiring with an outside party. So I'm coming out now. She's going to tell me who she's working with. Then I'm going to kill her.
Wait a minute. You're going to what? Our investigation, it's unfinished. And you're an initiate. What are you talking about?
Oh, I see you two thought you were proving my innocence. No, you were helping identify my target. I'd advise you, dears, to help or stay out of my way. Proctor Svoboda needs to pay for her actions.
Yes, I concur. That may be the only part of this that seems certain. You are far more capable than some back-manufactory button pusher. Who are you, really?
I am a dedicated agent of the Order, but no, dear. My name is not Miriam Alva. I am Marisol Delgado, formerly of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
That group was just a story to scare novice scienticians. Next, you're going to be telling me you're... Wait. It is you, isn't it? The one they called the Endpoint.
I arrived decades ago to lie low after a difficult assignment. More than that, I have nothing to speak on at present.
The rumors about your department. They said anyone who might delay the equation being solved disappeared. If there are any hints of truth to that, I find it severely at odds with Order tenets for balancing efficiency with humanity.
This is hardly the time for a history lesson or debate, I'm afraid.
That you are who you are, and are standing right, and have been here for years. It's all much to digest. I suspect your methods are not my own, nor the Order's, as I know it. And I fear your intentions for Proctor Svoboda. I cannot be party to this, but neither shall I stand in your way.
A wise calculation, my friend. Good thing you showed up when you did. You saved me from having to kill everyone here. Svoboda has much to answer for. Let's go see that she does.
What's this? What are you doing here? Come to surrender, I take it.
After decades keeping this identity, your inexpert blundering has rendered it obsolete. I am Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor of the Order. This would be an ideal time to confess everything. Before you die.
You can't possibly be party to all this. Not with her vast misdeeds so readily apparent.
Our investigator has definitively determined my innocence following a thorough investigation. I appreciate your practicality. Enough, traitor. You made your play. You lost. No more deception. No more lies. Time to pay what is due.
No, wait,
Thus concludes a thoroughly distasteful business. What a nice and thoughtful thing to say, dear. Best search her office. Someone clearly was pulling her strings.
Updating threat assessment of Marisol Delgado to Hi.
The terminal unsealed the effluvium repository. That's traditionally off limits. Ideal spot to hide something. We should take a look. This space used to be brimming with runoff chemical sludge. It's been renovated, I see. Another terminal. Go ahead. You should have the honors. The Proctor's efforts appear part of a larger scheme. Ah, of course. I should have assumed you had a greater purpose here. I have some unfinished business I need to get back to. I could use help from an operator like you. Believe my specific skills could benefit your efforts as well. I'd propose a strategic partnership. You help me, I help you. What do you say? Good, good. It's a little crowded here, though, isn't it?
Affirmative. Engaging standby protocols.
Excellent. Well then, I am quite ready to leave this place.
I realize you didn't receive the most welcome of receptions here. Well, regardless, I recognize you've done right by us here today, and I appreciate your efforts.
Unspecified dangers are predicted in these areas at an indeterminate point in time.
Ready to waste it, or yours for me.
Amplificator at ready status.
Been meaning to ask you, Marisol. Back when we first met, you said something about me seeming sad. What was that about?
Call it intuition, if the unscientific nature of the term doesn't irk you. Was I correct?
Sure, I can get a little ruminative, but so what if I get caught up in the past? Who doesn't find themselves returning to the same old stories, hoping for a different ending?
Dear, I don't want to call attention to it, but each word you just spoke was sadder than the last.
These trenches before. You are aware this is a war zone.
Hold your fire.
Investigating hostile intention.
Get off the combat while willing.
Charge!
Commander, watch your fire!
Go for torpification. Short on targets at the moment. Apologies. No target, no attacks. Mobilizing. Ratcheting up my aggression.
Glad I ain't a arachnid.
Is that the distinctive odor of arachnid blood I smell? Wait, you got all of them?
Dang. Glad I ain't a arachnid.
Either they have squatters or their decorator should be shot. Or both.
Cowards! You'd never have bested me without subterfuge! Unhand me. And I'll show you how a true acolyte fights!
Combatant observed. I'll handle this.
Standing by to stupefy.
You sure do go through ammo, don't you? Not to worry, we can always craft us more.
Your faces off one by one if you don't let me out of here! Hey, you! Let me out of here!
Architect's balls! That was some fine killing! Would have preferred you'd left one or two of those traitorous miscreants for me to sharpen my blade on, but no matter. Serves me right trying to help those sorely lacking in the gray matter. But they rightly paid for their transgression. Betraying someone sent by the exalted leader of the glorious dawn herself warrants a painful death. Name's Aza. You are? We are simply a group of enlightened individuals seeking to spread the truth of the rifts, despite our persecution by those who seek to keep the masses aimless and distraught. The rifts only seem destructive because we are looking at them from the point of view of imperfect, mortal bodies. To be deconstructed by a rift is to be reborn in perfection. The rifts are a device of the architect to hasten humankind's perfection. They reduce whatever comes into contact with them to mathematically perfect information. We are nothing but that information, but we cannot see that because we exist in a chaotic and disordered reality. The universe is decaying, and our efforts to manage it are futile. The rifts or a perfectly ordered phase of existence. No chaos, no striving, no suffering. Peace and unity with the architect themselves.
Ridiculous. The Rift's existence is an anomaly, nothing more. Their existence begs for correction.
I see no need to respond to such heresy. You are obviously ill-informed. I have similar business at the N-Ray range. These fools were only part of the contingent that betrayed me. I aim to see them pay the same price, though maybe with more disemboweling. I could use your help there, and I'm sure my particular talents could be of service to you. If you'd deign to take me on, of course. Nothing that will live to regret. But it seems like you've already a full contingent with you.
If you're sure, Commander. But I'd watch myself around this one.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go kill us some traitors.
After years working in a Zeranium manufactory, that's not the first workplace accident I've encountered.
Everything must become nothing before it can become everything.
Begging, Marisol. Just one little tidbit, anything. What you know about killing could probably fill several volumes.
And their appendices, all neatly sourced with footnotes and cross-referenced. But I'll spare you all that reading with this one piece of advice. You expend too much energy posturing. Less is more when it comes to killing. And there are much more efficient ways to remove someone from the equation.
Yeah, but I wager they're not half as entertaining.
You would be surprised. I once eliminated a lab archivist just by secretly replacing all his bases with acids. I assure you his death was most diverting.
Associate Carrington, audio log entry 10. My orders were to watch for the enemy. Specifically, to never break line of sight to my assigned field of view. But I can hear them advancing along the shore to the south. It's fine. Others have been assigned that field of vision. This is the most efficient method of defense. Architect, they're getting closer. Perhaps I'm taking my orders too literally. I'll just peek. No. Trust in the equation. Trust in those greater than I in the order. I will keep looking forward for enemies from that vector. I am not afraid. I am not afraid. I have faith that the architect...
This one appears to have been too terrified to even look at us. I almost feel bad killing him. Almost.
This place used to be a thriving hub of experimental science.
Now this is just sloppy. If I wasn't already here to kill all these traitorous fools, I'd be forced to use one or two as an example to the rest.
We can hear these wicked little group fingers of yours. Bring them close so we can shut them off.
Stop your silliness, fool! The only ones losing body parts around here today are you and your traitorous friends!
36 cubed, divided by the standard rate of fluid flow, and then you multiply by... is it 30 or... Oh! Hello!
Look at the state of this poor fool. They just left her bleeding out? Exsanguination is an art. Where's the precision, the pride in their work? This is just embarrassing.
There's a cultist behind you! Wait, surely she isn't with you. Fine. Just please keep her away from me. Architect's mercy, thank you. It is so much easier to be polite when I needn't fear all of my bones sliding out of my body. Oh, dear Archivist Clemens has been so strange lately. So distant, so agitated. And not his normal agitation, mind you. This is something different. Much worse. He's deeper in the facility, working on something he deemed to be of the utmost importance. Either he is still below, continuing said work, or he is quite dead. And with all those cultists gallivanting about, I don't fancy his odds.
Please, with the way my so-called brethren are comporting themselves, he's more likely to die of boredom. If I was in charge here, all of you'd be dead. He soon will be.
Yes. I'm sure you'll kill them quite well. The crazed cultist, people like your friend here have been sowing destruction throughout the range for days. I've seen few firsthand, but that isn't because they've gone. Rather, I believe they have become visibility deficient. There's no such thing as invisibility. I can only theorize that their visual forms were sent out of phase when they haphazardly tampered with pressurized N-rays.
Their actions are inexcusable. Science allows us to unveil the wonder of the rifts. We do not disrespect it. Now, is there any science around here we can use to find and kill them?
It's a shame the facility is in shambles. We have an N-ray scanner device that may render the cultists far easier for one to locate. The scanner is an optical device designed to detect electrical signals and the N-rays given off by all living beings. Visible or not, the cultists still give off N-rays. It was stored nearby. But with the damage to the facility, you'll likely need to use the maintenance vent on the wall there behind the screen to get anywhere near it. I appreciate your aid. I'm going to wait here and try to prevent my wounds from reopening.
Vitals are in the red, Commander. Commander.
you going? Our task here is yet unfinished. There are still traitorous swine drawing breath. I suppose you know what you are doing, but we'll need to return eventually to finish this lot off.